The scheduling keeps getting weirder, and the picks are getting much, much more interesting. Welcome back. What is going on, guys? It's Nick's Picks, Week 13, and I am joined once again by my friend and co-host, Ben. Ben, how you doing?
I don't know how I feel about the Steelers being undefeated when the only team that they seem to only have a close game with is against the Ravens when they're fully healthy and the Ravens practice squad.
Yeah, I definitely probably the worst 11-0 team in in NFL history. But it is a very strange week in the NFL. We didn't upload these picks on Thursday because, well, there was no game on Thursday. The background noise you hear, by the way, Ben is still home. Just gonna point that out now because it's probably gonna happen throughout the episode. But we are starting with the Sunday games, 1 o'clock, and it is the Saints and the Falcons. And Drew Brees still not back for New Orleans, but I do think they make pretty easy work of Atlanta because at this point Atlanta shouldn't have much to play for, and I don't understand why they're still playing in some of these games. But I have the Saints winning this one 31-21 over the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, I am picking New Orleans, but honestly, this team frustrates me. 1 week, they will look like a playoff team like they did against last week against Las Vegas, and even I think it was week 5 or week 6 against Minnesota. They'll look like a complete team. They'll look like they can maybe make the playoffs. But I'm always still reminded of the first 5 games when they didn't get a single win, and I still think that with New Orleans this week. I got New Orleans winning this one 28-24. And the only reason why I have it close because somehow, some way, Atlanta will try and keep it that way and tug at my heartstrings.
All right, second game on Sunday, the Chicago Bears going up against the Detroit Lions. Now, I almost feel obligated to pick Detroit here just because I really don't believe in Chicago at all, but Chicago's defense is much better, and I think they will hold Detroit's offense to very limited movement down the field. I think the Bears win this one 28-24 over the Lions. I can see the Lions winning this one, but I said it at the beginning of the season when the Bears were like 5-1 that this was a very deceptive team. They were horrible on offense. Their only saving grace is their defense. It's enough to get past Detroit, but beyond that, I think they're pretty mediocre.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in either of these teams, but I'm going to have Chicago winning this one 28-14. Only reason why I have Chicago is because, like you alluded to it, their defense. And, I mean, the good positive thing with Detroit, even if I don't think there is any positives with Detroit, in all honesty, is they finally cleaned house. They got rid of their GM, who I don't even know his name, but they got rid of Matt Patricia, who is the supposed defensive guru from the Patriots coaching tree, and we realized that, no, he actually sucks, and they shouldn't have got rid of Jim Caldwell. But that being said, they are now wasting another, I wouldn't say Lions great, but at least a very good player for the Detroit Lions, and Matthew Stafford. They're wasting his years there. I think Matt Stafford just needs to find a way out of there somehow, some way, because he's very underrated, but this team around him is just, it's so bad. I feel so sorry for Matt Stafford.
All right, probably one of the more interesting games of the week because there aren't a hell of a lot this week, but the Tennessee Titans going up against the Cleveland Browns. Now, a lot of people not giving the Cleveland Browns a whole lot of respect, me included. But they are 8-3. But they do lose to Tennessee here because Tennessee is the better team. Look, I just think Cleveland's very deceptive and not as good as you might think that they are. I think the fact that they play the entire NFC East says a lot to their record. So I'm going with Tennessee on this one, 32-30. I'll talk more in my 2-point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm keeping it close because Cleveland is definitely I mean, they're a playoff team in my opinion. I think they'll sneak into that 7 speed, maybe 6, but I'd be very surprised if they do. But I got Tennessee winning this one 32-28, actually, just because even though I think Nick Chubb is a very good running back, Derrick Henry proved why he is, at least at this point, one of the best, if not the best running back in the league. He just manhandles any defense he comes across at this point. So I do got Tennessee winning this one 32-28 over Cleveland.
All right, so the Miami Dolphins playing the Cincinnati Bengals. This is an easy one. 21-6 is my score. Miami over Cincinnati. Cincinnati managed to score 10 points last week against the Giants. One was on a kick return touchdown, and one was off of an Evan Ingram fumble. So their offense was not good at all, and I don't think they're going to score a touchdown against Miami.
Yeah, I got Miami win this one 32-7. Whether Fitzpatrick plays or Tua plays, doesn't really matter. Cincinnati, ever since they lost Burrow, they didn't really have hope this season, but the very little they did have just went out the window even more so. Yeah, Miami is looking like they actually could possibly fight for the AFC East title, which is something to be looking at going forward too.
All right, another easy game to pick. The Minnesota Vikings going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of people think Jacksonville might actually come back and take the number 1 pick from the New York Jets. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think the Vikings win this one 30-13 over Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville looks like... I mean, Jacksonville has some good young talent. Yeah, it's about all I got, honestly. I got Minnesota winning this one 28-17. Only reason I have it somewhat close is because Minnesota's defense has been suspect. If their defense has come up as of late, but it's still not great, so that's why Jacksonville is at least getting 17 points. Otherwise, this game's not going to be close even by a stretch.
All right, honestly, I do think this might be the Jets' best shot at a win, but I'm not going to pick it because it's probably not going to happen. I have the Raiders winning this one 24-23 over the Jets. I don't know why. I really don't know why I think this, but I think this is the Jets' best shot at a win, but they're not going to get it.
I do not think the same way. I mean, I don't know the rest of their schedule on the top of my head.
I don't either, but this just looks like one of those games.
But even then, even if this was supposedly their best one going forward, I don't see the Jets getting a win. I think they're going to go 0-16, honestly. I got the Raiders winning this one 20-3, even though they got somehow surprised by Atlanta last week. They're not going to lose to the Jets.
All right, interesting matchup here. The Indianapolis Colts going up against the Houston Texans. Indianapolis was fighting for the AFC South last week, lost to Tennessee, so they're a game behind them. Houston has been playing somewhat better these past couple weeks. So it's interesting. I could see Houston potentially upsetting Indy here, but I do think Indy is the better team just kind of going forward. And I'm going to go ahead and pick Indy here 27-21 over Houston.
I hate you so much sometimes. I really, really do.
Why?
Because guess what my score was?
See, I think this is your fault. I think this is your fault.
How is this my fault?
I don't know, because I go first. That's the only reason.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to say it now. It's not going to be 27. Well, first off, we are picking the same team. We're both picking Indy, but I'll say 27-20. I'll let you have the prices right one up on me.
This one was a tough game to pick. This, to me, is probably the game of the week. I'm looking at all the rest of the games now. Yeah, I would say this is the game of the week right here. This should probably be like the Sunday night or the Monday night game, or Tuesday night. But the LA Rams going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, look, I really want to pick Arizona because I do think they're the better team, and I really like what Arizona has done these past couple years, but it seems like every time I picked Arizona this year in games that I feel like they're the better team, they end up losing. And every time I don't pick the Rams because I don't think they're the better team, they end up winning. So I'm going to throw a slight curveball this week and pick the Rams over the Cardinals 33-31 over the Car. I just think that this is one of those games I'm going to get wrong if I pick Arizona, which is my gut pick.
Yeah, I think, well, these are two teams I think, along with Seattle, they're all fighting for the NFC West. I think it's very close between all three of them, and I think this is a game that's going to decide it, in a sense. Not like the whole division, obviously, but at least when it comes to these two teams. And I'm with you. This is very close. I think both these teams are very, very equal as far as talent is concerned. I'm giving the slightest edge, though, to Arizona winning this one 28-26, only because I feel a little more comfortable with them and more so with Kyler Murray than Jared Goff. Because the last time I tried to trust Jared Goff in any kind of way, anytime I trust Jared Goff, he just ends up proving me wrong, other than against Tampa. Tampa was that one was just a shot in the dark. Every other time, it's just like he proves me wrong. And I'm just not... I don't know how I feel about him. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams win this one, but I still got Arizona winning this one 28-26.
All right, so the Seattle Seahawks going up against the New York Giants. I know Ben's going to be like, oh, they wouldn't have won either way. Shut up, Ben. The Giants have actually been playing really well football, and without Daniel Jones this week, that is going to hurt, especially, I don't know how much longer he's going to be out, but the Giants have a tough schedule coming up, so they need Daniel Jones back. Without him, with Colt McCoy, they lose this game 35-9. But with Daniel Jones, they could have pulled up the offset, but I probably still would have picked Seattle.
I got Seattle winning this one 30-17, purely based on the fact I actually had it as a little bit closer, but because Daniel Jones is out, I got Seattle winning this one. But the Giants...
He's doubtful. He's not out yet, but he's doubtful.
As of right now, I think the Giants might win this terrible terrible division.
All right, the Green Bay Packers going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. To me, this is an easy one. I have the Packers winning 42-20. Just the Eagles' offense sucks horribly this year, and the Packers have been good all around the ball, but to me, I don't think the Packers are a Super Bowl team, so I think that's something to watch. But they're way better than the Eagles.
I'm against you on that the Packers aren't a Super Bowl team. I think they're at least a contender, at least when it comes to the NFC. But I got Green Bay winning this one 32-17 on this one, mainly because Philly, their defense is terrible. Carson Wentz, I don't know. We've been bashing Carson Wentz probably more than his legs. I don't even feel sorry about that, honestly.
All right, the LA Chargers hosting the New England Patriots. This one I could really see going either way. We haven't differed on too many picks. I think the only one we've differed on is the Cardinals and Rams, but potentially could differ on this one. I'm going with the Chargers on this one, 27-23. And I don't really have a reason behind it. On to you.
This is our second pick. Yeah, you're right, because we did the Cardinals and Rams. We differed. This will be the second time we differ. I got New England win this one 26-24. There is no reason why. I feel like I should pick the Chargers because
right, like it's just
I
one
don't
of those
know why
games
I feel
where
more. But at the same time, this is one of those where, like, you saw last week, Belichick did really well against scheming against Kyler Murray, and for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason, I guess the Chargers are trying to be the Atlanta Falcons of the AFC, because every game that they should look competitive in, they don't do well in. I don't know why, but neither has New England, so this was literally like a coin toss, I think.
Okay, do the math. This gets a little weird. We have 4 games left, and we have already hit the Sunday night game. It's the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Denver Broncos. This is an easy one. I don't even know if Denver has a quarterback. I don't really care. 32-3. I have Kansas City winning this one.
I do think they have their quarterbacks back, but at the end of the day, I got Kansas City winning this one 35-10. I do have a 2-point with this game, but that's all I got.
I do think it'd be more interesting to watch this game if the Broncos didn't have a quarterback, but whatever. All right, the first of 2 Monday night games, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington football team. Pittsburgh hosting this game. Ben, I got to ask you, how close were you to picking Washington? Because I know you picked Pittsburgh, but like, were you close? Opinion?
I was very close.
I was very close too. My score is 24-21.
Mine is 20-17, and I think we can both agree. We talked about this before we did in the intro. Pittsburgh, I don't know what is with this team. Like they should be. Like they should be. Like you would think. Like
they should have at least lost a game or two by now.
Well, not even just that. You think you see that they're 11-0, and you're like, oh my god, there's this great team. But the only team they've blown out in any kind of fashion was Cincinnati.
Yeah, congratulations.
Like, not even the practice squad for the Ravens.
The Buffalo Bills going up against the San Francisco 49ers for the other Monday night game. And this one I also believe is fairly easy. I think the Buffalo Bills win this game, even though it's in Oh, no, it's not in San Fran. It's in Arizona. Because that makes sense. So I do think the Buffalo Bills win this game 28-14 over San Francisco or Arizona Infirmary or whatever. This is a weird season. I don't like it anymore.
It's 2020. What do you expect at this point? I'm with you. As much as I've been the renowned Buffalo hater, I do agree that Buffalo's winning this one. I got Buffalo winning this one 27-20. And all I can say to Buffalo fans is, can they try and defend a Hail Mary at this point in the season?
Right. Honestly, we were watching that game.
One time against Arizona, that's fine. Okay, that's luck. Against the Chargers, I mean, they still won, but really?
I know. They didn't even try to defend that one either, it looked like. All right, and we end the week off on a Tuesday because that is 2020, and that is the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Dallas Cowboys in a game that should be a good game, but again, this is 2020. Dak is not playing, and the Ravens, I don't know what's going on with them. But I do think they win this game 24-10 over Dallas just because Dallas's offense can't produce points, which I don't understand at all. Andy Dalton's a good backup. Zeke should be carrying this team. I understand they have injuries on the offensive line, but this offense had so much talent, and all they lost was Dak, and they lost. It was like they lost everybody. So 24-10 Ravens over the Cowboys. Not much more to say.
Yeah, I got Baltimore winning this one 34-17, just because even if I don't know if Lamar Jackson is gonna be playing this game. I think he still has to clear protocol, but I don't know. And even if he's not, I mean, he threw a dot to Hollywood Brown. So I mean,
he threw a dot in a
one
60-minute game.
One singular one. Hey, they almost won, surprisingly. Anyway, but Dallas, I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with Dallas faltering in any kind of way whatsoever, but it's really weird how they lost just Dak, at least to my knowledge. Obviously, their offensive line is bad, but like they only lost their starting quarterback, and their team is just bad. But yeah, I got Baltimore winning this one still.
All right, moving on to the 2-point conversions. I'm going back to that Cleveland-Tennessee game and that Derrick Henry versus Nick Chubb matchup. I think Derrick Henry goes off. This is more specifically to do with the Cleveland Brown defense, because I think as much as I don't believe in Baker Mayfield and don't like Odell and the rest, I mean Odell's not playing, but like the rest of this Cleveland offense besides Landry, their weak point is their defense, and I think Derrick Henry is going to expose that this week. I'd say he rushes for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Cleveland Browns. And I wanted to throw in a little extra measure, a little sparkle onto my 2-point conversion by saying that he's also going to stiff arm a guy, but that just seems given. So we'll go with the 150 and 2 touchdowns.
Mine, I think you're probably going to think I'm more crazy than I already am, but mine is back to that Denver KC game. And Tyreek Hill, do you remember how many yards he had in the first quarter, Nick?
A little over 200.
Just a little over 200.
Yeah, nothing major, just a little.
Yeah,
over
nothing
200.
major, and 2 touchdowns, nothing major.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill will have more total yards and more total touchdowns than the entire Denver Broncos wide receiver core. Now, if a tight end goes off, that doesn't matter, but Tyreek Hill will outperform every single wide receiver on the Denver Broncos. More yards, more touchdowns, and really kind of cement his place as at least a top 3 wide receiver. I'm not going to go as far as say he's the best, but he's definitely top 5.
I'm going to laugh so hard if Tyreek Hill has like 200 yards receiving and no touchdowns, and Judy or whatever on the Broncos
just
has like
a 5-yard touchdown.
A 5-yard touchdown.
If that happens, hey, I'm okay with that. I originally had yards, but it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Touchdowns too.
We didn't mention it at the beginning of the episode. I kind of held the suspense, but as you guys know, I had been leading in these picks for pretty much most of the season. Back-to-back weeks, Ben guesses scores correctly, which, as you know, counts for 5 points onto our total. So Ben quickly took it was only a 4-point lead, I think was your largest lead.
Yes.
And then last week, I got my 2-point conversion. I think overall I ended up scoring 11 or 12 points last week. I had a good week last week. Ben, he had a good week too, but he didn't get his 2-point, and that hurt. And now we are back to tied at 118 all. The current score is back to tied. And in week 13, I did not expect that. I kind of figured, like, when we started this, that somebody was going to pull away early and it was just going to not be as entertaining. But 118 to 118 in week 13, I really can't complain about that.
I mean, if you do the math, if I got the game wins but not the +5, then I'd be down by 8. So
right.
Technically speaking, you would be winning by a lot. But yeah. At the end of the day, I think that this is gonna be coming down to like probably the championship games. In all honesty, if someone's pulling away by the start of the playoffs, I'll be very surprised.
I gotta figure out how we're gonna do the point system in the playoffs. If it's still gonna be like 1 point per pick, or like if I don't know. Anyways, we'll figure that out when we get there. But Ben, is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Atlanta, please embrace the tank.
Embrace the tank.
The Jets and the Jags are doing it.
Daniel Jones, we need you.
The only reason why the NFC East isn't because for some reason all 4 of them think they can win the division.
Have a great one, guys. I know it's weird having these picks on a Sunday, but I think next week there'll be a Thursday night game, and then we have to go back to posting this on Thursday.
Probably not.
I don't know. Whatever. We'll find out. Whatever day the first game is next week will be the picks. But this one being posted on a Sunday, I know it's weird, but I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great one. Peace.
Bye.